want to talk about a couple of these stories, these genre news stories that have kind of popped up very recently, Chad, last night even. And the first of those stories is the big Marvel shakeup in regards to Armor Wars, chat. That is changing from a Disney Plus series, and now it's becoming a feature-length film, a theatrical film, Chad, not just for Disney Plus or anything like that. And I want to go into some of the details of this and, explain as to why I feel like this is the best decision. But Marvel Studios, and this is coming from The Hollywood Reporter, Marvel Studios is shaking up its Armor Wars project, and now what was to have been a series for Disney Plus will be developed as a feature film. The movie essentially pushes back the title further down the development slate. Sources say the studio was committing to getting the story told the right way, and in that process realized that a feature was better suited for the project. Like all Marvel movies, is intended for a theatrical release. Don Cheadle, who's reprising his longtime Marvel Cinematic Universe role as Colonel James Rhodey Rhodes, although he was not the original, a.k.a. War Machine, remains on board to star. Yasir Lester, who was acting as head writer of the series, will remain as its featured scribe. Now, this is interesting to me because, as you guys know, at Comic-Con and at D23, they did not showcase Armor Wars at all, Chad. It was not listed on the various, phases, whether it be Phase 5 or Phase 6. I thought that was interesting. And at first I'm like, I mean, it's not like they forgot to add it or anything like that. But then or maybe they're thinking like they didn't know where exactly to place it at the time. Is it going to come in at Phase 5? Is it going to be the start of Phase 6? But now it makes more sense that clearly they had second thoughts and they want to turn this into a theatrical film. Now, I think this is an excellent move. Number one, I realized when I was doing the show yesterday on Double Toast that it's like, okay, it has been quite some time since we had a standalone Iron Man movie. It's like, yes, Iron Man, of course, has shown up in Captain America Civil War. He's in the Avengers films, obviously Infinity War and Endgame. He's been a part of the universe, just Spider-Man Homecoming, of course. But when it comes to like the standalone Iron Man films, like the last one, Iron Man 3, came out in, 2013? I mean, that was like one of the first films after, I think, what was it, the first Avengers movie, chat? Right? And I was like, wow. So it's been quite some time. I think like it was 2013 because you had like Thor: The Dark World and you had Iron Man 3. Those are those two big movies. And listen, however you feel about the Iron Man sequels, I'm not the biggest fan. I think the original Iron Man is still the best Iron Man film. I think that still holds up nearly 14, 15 years later at this point. It's a great movie. I'm not the biggest fan of Iron Man 2, Iron Man 3, although I think Iron Man 3 is probably better than Iron Man 2. Iron Man 2 just felt like a commercial for the Avengers, and Iron Man 3, it felt more like a Shane Black movie than an Iron Man film. I just didn't like a lot of his choices, and I really did not like what they did with the Mandarin. But it's been a while since we've gotten that film, an Iron Man film, and those films have all been very commercially successful, especially the third Iron Man. That did very, very well. They had like 1.2, 1.5 billion. It made a lot of money. And so I think Marvel's like going like, well, we need to have another Iron Man movie. And so to change this series into an Iron Man film or into Armor Wars, War Machine movie, I think that's for the best. If you want to get that crowd in the theaters again, think of it as the return, the revival of the Iron Man, or at least Iron Man and his characters in cinematic form. And the other thing too is, chat, listen, the budgets for these TV shows, I think they've been serviceable. Sometimes they've looked great. WandaVision, Loki, I think they've been, pretty good. But then you look at some other shows, and it's like, the budget's just not here. I don't see the money out here. Something for like, Miss Marvel or even Moon Knight. It's like, some of these are kind of hit and miss for me, just the look. And I don't want to see a cheap-looking Iron Man, series. And so I feel like that's also one of the reasons why they want to turn this into a theatrical film. I would not be shocked, Chad, if this goes through a name change, though. I know they just calling it Armor Wars. I wouldn't be surprised if they called this Iron Man Armor Wars. And I know that Rhodey is War Machine, but there is a bit of a vacuum. There's a vacuum since the death of Tony Stark and Steve Rogers at the end of Endgame. And it's like, what if they eventually just turn Rhodey into Iron Man? Like he feels like the natural successor. He would be like the person that would maybe possibly inherit that mantle, and he would finally be given, because one of the things I've been disappointed by how Rhodey has been used. I thought Terrence Howard, I still to this day I maintain, I thought Terrence Howard has played the best version of the character. I loved his chemistry with Robert Downey Jr. I thought they were great together, and I never really felt that same amount of chemistry. Not that like Don Cheadle's been bad; it's what's been written for him. I think he's been underserved by the material, and so now to finally give him his own movie, but could he potentially be the successor to Iron Man? I think so. And so I would absolutely change the title of this series to Iron Man, or to this particular series becoming a movie, Iron Man Armor Wars, and dropping the whole Iron Man 4 thing, the whole numbered thing. Because I don't like the whole like Iron Man 4, 5, 6. That's kind of boring. Give it a nice subtitle, a nice fun subtitle. So that's what I would do. I feel like that's the best thing to do. I think they're making the right choices. They're taking more time to develop this story as they should. So I'm excited for this announcement. I think this is absolutely the right choice on their part. And especially because some of these shows, I don't think all these shows have, lived up to people's expectations. Some of them have felt rushed, certainly when you look at something like Moon Knight or Miss Marvel or something. But what about you guys? What do you think of the potential of Armor Wars, or now it's the idea of Armor Wars becoming a theatrical film? I am curious, Jim. Very, very curious. Oh, and Howler Brother, thank you so much for subscribing. Rody is just, let me see what you're saying. Rody is just biding his time and waiting. At this point, yeah. He's gonna get his own. Let's see what you guys are saying. Also have an Ironheart TV show. Is the Ironheart TV show, is that happening? Is that gonna be a series? I wouldn't be surprised if she's in Armor Wars. I was wondering, with Marvel going deep in the multiverse, and now that Armor Wars is a movie, do you think we'll see the multiverse where Terrence Howard's even Rhodey? If that's a joke, I think that would be hilarious if they do that. I don't think that would be possible because Terrence Howard has, he's burned a lot of bridges. He's been pretty upset in regards to the situation with Iron Man 2 and his pay. So I doubt that's going to happen. I'd love it for that to happen. I think it'd be really funny. Rhodey's one of my faves. VSG, Rhodey's one of my faves, and I can't really place why. I think I like the idea of not having powers, including super intelligence. You don't even see the budgets in the movies now, says Joe. RDJ, I don't think the money's going to be close. I see the budgets in the movies now, 100%. With RD, I don't think the money's going to be close to the same as Cedar or Spock. Mr. Yes, I feel like they are setting up Ironheart as the next Iron Man, not Rhodey. Rhodey and Riri will probably carry the mantle. Seems like everyone in this phase is getting a young sidekick. He's one of the best moments in Age of Ultron. He was in Age of Ultron? Oh, I didn't remember him being in Age of Ultron. Oh, you're right. He comes at the end. I forgot. Terrence Howard right now. The math doesn't add up, man. Exactly. No, a lot of the shows have looked cheap. In some ways, sometimes it's like, oh, that looks pretty good. Other times it's like, it's not hitting for me. There's certain things in Moon Knight where I really noticed that. So yeah, I feel like they know that too, and they're like, all right, let's turn this into a film. It says, Armor Wars is probably going to be very CGI heavy because the Iron Man suit, for the most part, has been CGI. I mean, the best it's ever looked, Patrick was right yesterday, is when it was practical and for a number of scenes in the first Iron Man. It still holds up. Ironheart is supposed to be in Armor Wars? Yes, I believe she is. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. Let's see here. Yeah, Terrence Howard's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs right now. Yeah, he's a little crazy, I think. I think you like the idea of him not being super smart or the best at making the tech, but he's very specialized for using it. He's part of the Air Force. He's a military liaison superhero. Let's see. Ironheart going to be more about magic versus tech, and the HOD will be in it by Anthony Ramos. I don't really understand what you're saying, Austin. Sorry. I've seen 3 Phase 4 movies, and the CGI has been okay to terrible for all of them. Yeah, I just don't agree with that. Yeah. But congrats to Don Cheadle for securing the bag. He and Anthony Mackie leading the movies. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for Captain America 4 as well. Like Captain America New World Order. I think that'll be fun. Yes. Yeah, so, now I'm looking forward to it, chat. I'm hoping for the best for this. Again, I think this is a smart decision on their part. They want to, I'm excited for them giving this character his due. And also, the next time we see Rhodey Rhodes, he's going to be appearing as a supporting character in Secret Invasion, chat, which leads into a lot of the stuff that is happening in Armor Wars, which I think is the proliferation of the Iron Man technology and Tony's technology and the armor itself. And I think it's going to be used by a bunch of different people. I've said for a long time, now that we're getting closer to, Doctor Doom being revealed, like what if Iron Man technology or Ultron technology, that's going to be used by Doctor Doom for his Doom bots? What if, we know we're building towards mutants at this point. They're getting mentioned more and more. What if Iron Man's armor is going to be the basis for the Sentinel program? Like, there's a lot of fun things that you can play with. What's Tony's legacy going to be? I hope they kind of go in different directions, both the positive aspects of his legacy and the negative aspects of his legacy. And you have all these different people using that technology, and it gets out there, across the world, across the galaxy, across the universe. There's so much potential. There's so much potential with that. So I'm hoping for the best. Hoping for the best with that. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to Armor Wars, chat. I want to see what they got. The return of Iron Man or Iron Man characters in film. We'll see. We'll see.